Mamdani is running away from the Democratic Socialist Party's radical cuckoo agenda. The thing is, he can't run far enough. He can't run fast enough because we have the receipts. We know that he actually believes in this agenda. He's been pushing it for years, and we got the videos, we got him the audios and his writings and stuff pertaining to this. So it's not going to work. People aren't going to believe that all of a sudden he's some type of moderate. So we're going to talk a little bit about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, and they report that New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is a declared member of the Democratic Socialists of America, or DSA, one of 8 avowed socialists in the New York State Assembly. But Mamdani is also as slippery a politician as you'll find anywhere. When pressed to defend some loony proposals that the National Democratic Socialists of America espouse, Mamdani claims he never believed in such things as emptying local jails, defunding the police, or decriminalizing all drugs. He said, quote, "My platform is not the same as National DSA or any DSA organization." All lies, because we have him saying that he's for these things. Except when he is, right? As recently as 2024, the local Democratic Socialist chapter in New York City said on its Defund NYPD website, quote, "It's time to defund the NYPD and refund the people." It's also said, quote, "Cut NYPD budget and police force by 50%, close Rikers, no new jails, free them all," according to the New York Post. So what are you supposed to do with criminals then if there's no jails, right? People are crazy. The Mamdani campaign is trying to finesse his association with the Looney Tunes National DSA. It's not working out very well. A spokesperson for the Mamdani campaign, Dora Pakek, tried to thread the needle. She said, quote, "Zohran's affordability agenda is crystal clear. If Zohran has not publicly endorsed or spoken on a position during the campaign, it is not a part of his mayoral platform," Pakek said. Yeah, because he haven't, but he spoke on it in the past, though. That's the thing. You can't claim the DSA label for your campaign and then pick and choose which kooky proposals you'll endorse and which ones you'll eschew. That's not how politics work, especially in the big leagues, such as big city mayoral races. The New York Post said Mamdani's campaign says his platform is separate from the DSA agenda. The NYC DSA says that it, quote, "shared values do not mean Zohran adopts every DSA position." Okay, so does he reject its positions? Has he decided and when, for instance, that minors shouldn't get sex changes without parental consent? Mamdani's refusal to speak to any specifics is damning. If he won't explicitly reject any of the DSA's radical positions, voters must assume he still believes in all of them. Remember, because he believed in them in the past, right? He's just hoping he can't keep wearing that smile. I'm sorry. He's just hoping he can keep wearing that smile and they won't notice his true intentions until the morning of November 5th. I mean, this dude is devious. The former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, is running a distant second in the race and has been desperately searching for an attack strategy that will expose Mamdani for the crazy radical he is. Recently, Cuomo asked Mamdani a series of rhetorical questions looking to demonstrate how truly radical his agenda is. Quote, "Do you believe what the DSA charter says when they say close prisons?" Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can they allow him to backtrack like that when he talked about closing prisons before? It goes on to say, do you believe what the DSA charter says when it says close jails? Do you believe what the DSA charter says when it says gradually reduce the police budget to zero? Yes or no? Mamdani fends off these attacks with ease. It's a large part of his success that he's able to give socialism, quote, a human face, and like Barack Obama, deliver a spoonful of sugar to help voters swallow his radical proposals. It's also helping his campaign that the National Democratic Socialists of America are staying out of the New York City mayoral race. They fully realize the damage that could be done to Mamdani's cause if the DSA true radicalism was placed front and center. Now that's bad when you got to hide who you are so your a candidate could win an election. You gotta pretend like you're not supporting this guy. Oh my God! And how are people falling for this? Like the socialists that are backing Mamdani, how can you support him knowing that he's lying? And then the people that don't think he's socialist, how can you not know that he's a socialist? It's obvious that this man is a socialist. Like, I don't understand how he has any support at this time. The New York Times said, while the local chapter endorsed Mr. Mamdani mayoral candidacy, the national umbrella organization did not. But it did celebrate his primary win over Mr. Cuomo and even claim some ownership of it. These people are devious, right? Quote, so Zoran never ran as an individual, but as a representative of a working class socialist movement, the National DSA said in a statement in June. This movement is bigger than one person, election, city, or organization. The National DSA's media relations team did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. Of course not, because they're trying to protect this man at all costs. They know that their ideas are not popular, so they have to pretend that they don't actually endorse this dude so he can win. That is crazy to me. Say what you believe and stand on those beliefs. Don't try to hide them. Well, once Mamdani is in office, we can expect the National DSA to step forward with pride and claim him as a favorite son. It's very clear that younger Americans will have to learn the lessons of their parents and grandparents about the devastation that socialism causes all over again. Like it's crazy to me that people can be socialists. How do you not know how bad this system is, man? And I blame our education system. Our education system have not really told the truth, the full story on socialism and how bad it really is. And socialism has never, ever benefited not one person, not one country. You can't name a socialist system that has actually worked. That's because it hasn't worked. But they weren't taught in school. That's just what I was just alluding to. They weren't taught in school about people having to stand in line for moldy beets and a bottle of vodka in the Soviet Union, or how healthcare was rationed in socialist countries. After a few years of Mamdani in office, the lessons of history will likely finally be learned. That's why I said it needs to happen. I know a lot of people are like, man, we don't really want him. We really don't want to see him win or things like that because, you know, socialism will destroy New York, but they're going to keep growing and nationally unless something like this happens. We can have another test case to be like, look, this is socialism. It never works. It destroyed New York City. And it's going to happen because I don't think Cuomo has what it takes to take out Mamdani. So I think Mamdani is going to win. He's going to be New York's next mayor. And New York is going to be even worse of a city than what it already is. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.